Yeah, yeah, and I'm going to talk to Adam about this tomorrow, but I'm happy to talk to you about it here. So this is great. So yeah, I've gotten three really good brokers that are sending me more than I can keep up with right now, which is nice.
Awesome. Awesome.
Good problem to have. So, but there's one broker's really good. He provided like his own summary and thoughts on, upside, downside of each opportunity that he sent to me, and so a pretty good summary. And
Was
and
that the
he's
email that
also
you
an
forwarded?
yeah, I did. I don't know
Nice.
if you saw that, but yeah,
I
so
did.
good guy. He's also an investor, so he invests in real estate himself. So he's got that perspective. But there's one property that he sent over. It's in Champaign, Illinois, near University of Illinois.
Okay.
42,000 square feet. It's going for 3.5, I think it is. But it's unique in that it hits a lot of the boxes in terms of the physical attributes. It's got two doors. It's 20-foot ceilings. It's within a mile of the highway.
Nice.
It's got two units within it. One is 26,000 square feet. It's got a trampoline like business in it, those trampoline parks for
Oh
kids and
yeah,
stuff
I've
like
seen those.
that,
Oh yeah.
which is a little different. That kind of scares me in a way. I'm like, those businesses kind of come and go. But in this case, the owner of the building owned the trampoline company and had 8 locations around the country and sold the business and is now selling off the real estate.
Interesting.
So yeah, so the guy who owned and a private equity company bought the trampoline company. They took over the lease locally here. So in that building though, it's 26,000 square feet is going to the trampoline company. Another 16,000 is actually vacant. And that concerns me, but they say they're finalizing a lease with a school to take over that part of the property, and that would be an 8-year lease. There's 4 years remaining on the trampoline side of it. So definitely not a great like case study to chew on. I don't have all the information. I'm just kind of gathering it. But I don't know if it's not like traditional industrial real estate to me, although it kind of looks like it from the outside because of the tenant. But I don't know what your thoughts are on that type of thing where, there's enough revenue to out of the one leased space that is 25,000 a month, and that is on 3.5 million. So that's like an 8 point something cap right there. And then if they rent out the rest of it, it could be like a 13 cap,
Did
based
you?
on what they're saying they're going to get.
Okay. Did you on the pro forma? Did you look at that vacant offer calculator?
Not yet.
All right. So let's just do this real quick so you can be so we're all on the same page here.
Yep. And
So this
sorry
is
if I'm sporadic in describing this one. I'm
oh
not
heck
like,
no. No, this is great. This is awesome. So this is the same calculator that you have. Let's just use the assumption. Let's say you said it was like 40,000 feet, 42,000
it's
feet.
42,000.
The value of the land, we'll just say it's 100. That's really more for
Yep.
depreciation. But the rent, they're asking 3.5,
It's 3.7 actually is what they're asking.
3.7. Okay. Just get our eyes on what it looks like. Do you know what was the income on it?
For just the one unit that's leased is 25,000 a month.
25. So what is that time? So that's 300,000 a year.
Yep.
25,000 a month. This doesn't matter.
Can't
Okay,
believe these
cool.
trampoline companies make that much money
Man, they
to pay
must have
that much.
like subscriptions or service. Like it must be
Yeah,
a
yeah,
subscription service or something.
exactly,
Well,
exactly.
you know what they probably do is I wonder if they have contracts with like elementary schools or something. I mean,
Probably.
you
Yeah, that's a
know,
good point. Yeah.
versus having individual parents that do it. I mean, I could be totally
Hmm.
wrong. That just would me make the most sense.
Yeah.
All right, so they're asking 3.7. It's trading at a three. You're looking at a 3.5 out of the gate. Let's just.
Hmm.
So, were you on last week's call, Hugh?
Yep.
Okay, so we were describing going back and forth about how basically these columns can really change how you can manipulate the numbers, especially with maybe it was John's deal that he was doing out in Oklahoma where he was trying to oh, this broker was saying this is a good deal, this, that, and the other, but he just manipulated the
Hmm.
terms of the debt,
Yep.
you know?
Yep. Yep.
So that's kind of, I would say that's very similar to here. So if you, my benchmark, let's say interest is 6.25. I mean, call it 6.75, right? I mean,
Yeah. Just to
I
be
was
safe.
trading, I got a loan last week or a week and a half ago for 6.9.
Okay.
So I'd like to start at 7 just to be like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's, and I mentioned that loan constant here is really the most valuable metric when underwriting debt, just because that's your true intrinsic cost of capital, because that
Okay.
includes not only the interest repayment, but also the principal repayment.
Gotcha.
Not the cost of the obviously the interest is the cost of the debt, but this extra
Yeah.
2.3% is really your principal repayment as well. That you
It's
won't.
based on the amortized
That's
life
right.
of the loan. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So you go over here all the way to AM schedule, and over
Yeah.
12 months you'll pay
It's
down
just
62
gotcha.
grand or whatever. You'll be able to
Okay.
see all that.
Yep.
Your true like 81 grand goes to, your lender,
Okay.
those that have the pesos have the say so's, I guess, right?
Right. 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 Yep.
Um,
They sure do.
so there we go. So let's just say it's at 7. So if we're going to underwrite this deal right out of the gate, this is maybe a triple net lease. And this is as
Yeah.
it sits, right? So there's opportunity to increase this rent by leasing out the adjacent part of the
Yeah.
building, correct?
This
Like
is for like
there's upside.
60% of the building or 50, 60% of the building, call it. So the 40% is empty and not
Okay.
included in that rent.
Well, that's awesome then. I mean, I look at this as a great opportunity then because you could potentially buy it at a decent
Yep.
price, nothing over the top. But even if you were to, and you said that was 16,000 feet. So
Yeah. 16. Yep.
that
So
drill
this is just for
250.
26 that we're looking at, and the remaining 16 is empty.
Man, so even if you were to get, so they're charging $7 a foot. Even if you were to
Yeah.
get $5 a foot, what is that number on 14,000 feet?
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know the market
So,
price on
so
that.
let me tell you this part,
Yeah,
Nolan.
tell me,
So
tell me.
so this is, I'm just reading the email. So it's a triple net lease for this part of the building, and there's 5 years remaining on it.
Nice. Are there
The front
increases?
16, um, let me
That will play into
say,
a factor of its future appreciation.
I don't, I don't see anything about an increase, but I can find out.
Okay.
Um, but there's a proposed lease for the remaining 16,000 square feet from a school, from a, like a private school. Um, it's said to be for an 8-year term. Starting rent is reportedly $9.50 a foot.
Woo, strong.
Triple net for years one, two, followed by 3% annual increases.
Man, that's awesome right there.
There's two offers already on the table. So that have not
Wow.
been replied to. And I heard that one is creative. And I also heard that the existing lender is willing to work out a deal to stay in it.
Oh, sure,
So,
of course.
so
Who
I don't
is
know
that
how that would
lender?
work.
Do you know him?
Yeah, I don't. It's Western State Bank. It may be assumable depending on lender approval and terms.
Well, even if it's not assumable, and let's just say that somebody else offers all cash and they close, this might be a guy that you want to introduce yourself to, you know? Because if it's not this one, it's
The
going to be the next
the
one.
banker.
Yeah,
Yeah, the banker. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's
Yep,
right.
for sure. Yep. Yep.
So
No, that makes
basically,
sense.
when you're looking at this vacant offer calculator right here, this to me is like what will, I'm saying 8.5. Oops, 8.5%. This will help you determine what your highest and best offer is in my book.
Okay.
It allows you to actually, and I'll help you walk through this just so you can get an understanding. So the reason that we'll offer 70%, this could be closer to 75% if you wanted to,
Hmm.
but what we're trying to accomplish is if you're buying a vacant site, now this is a little unique because you've got some of the income already and you've got opportunity to lease up the adjacent site. I mean, this is textbook. Like this is so textbook of the commercial real estate investing. Like if you can buy it as it sits right now, I mean, imagine, you buy it's
Yeah.
25,000 a month right now and it goes up to by roughly to 36,000
Right. Yep.
083 or yeah 083. I mean, you've got a slam dunk home run deal,
Yep.
even
Yep.
at what they're asking, now
Yeah.
you're going to have to pay some leasing commissions and things like that, but you're still really doing well. So you're talking about even with conservative debt, 75% loan to value, 20-year AM at 7%. I mean, a 1.8 debt ratio is extremely strong, especially with multi-year
Yeah.
years left on those leases. I mean,
Okay.
so I think again, if they've got like a letter of intent with that school already, and
Yeah.
they're
I
close,
got I have the
make that
lease.
offer.
Well, the draft of the lease for the school.
Okay,
So I have that much. So that's how serious they are, how far along they are, but I'm not sure how these things,
a
anything can
couple of
happen, I guess.
thoughts just on the tenants. So one of them's been there for a little bit. The school is going to show up. What I always like doing. I got this information from one of my lenders. You know how when you go to the bank on buying a single family house and they do like the debt to income ratio, make sure that the mortgage that you're going to pay, if you're paying 5,000 a month in mortgage, you need to be earning 8,500 bucks a month, just to be able to
Yep.
service
Yep.
the debt. So the banks, when they're underwriting businesses to lend them money to buy their own, use property, they'll do a similar underwriting, and it's basically the same kind of debt to income ratio. And what my banker said is that if you are going to um, underwrite a business to make sure that their income can justify the rent, you just don't want the value of the building or the value of the rent to be more than at least 30% of what their gross
30%.
income is,
Okay.
of their earnings are. That's right.
Okay. Okay.
Because, so just a thought there. So if this school's going to come up, figure out how they're funded, if they're public, if they're private, figure out what their balance sheet
Yeah.
looks like, and
Yeah.
I'm happy to help you underwrite that as well. But it's making sure that they can sign up for what they're going to make you a promise. You just want to make sure they can keep that promise.
Yeah. No, I understand. And that's what I was worried about the trampoline company, but they've got 5 years left.
Oh man.
And they're proposing an 8-year lease for the school. So that's pretty nice. If that all comes together. And I'm not surprised there's two other offers out there, I guess. So, and I heard one is creative, and I don't know what that means, but I'll try
Probably
to
leaving
get more
money in the
information.
deal. I'd say leave
Because
creativity to me is really just seller leaving some money in the deal. Because really, if
okay.
they can buy it at this price, if you think about it, Hugh, this is the key. So the value of that site, let's say that they reappraise it in the future at a 9% cap rate, like some appraisal will come in. The income right now at 36, the value of that site will be, you see this number,
Yeah.
5.5
5.2,
million
5.5. Yeah.
dollars. And you'll be able to at an 80% loan to value, you essentially can refinance, the first and second mortgage out, put a new
Right.
first position mortgage on it, and just have it still with no money.
Yeah. Yep. 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 Yep.
And
No, that's awesome. Yeah. No,
more
this is
appreciation and
it's
everything.
it's an interesting first one to dig into. And
It's
I
fun,
just
isn't
need
it? It's
to.
fun to like kind
Oh, it's
of.
a lot of fun.
It's really fun. It's like a sport. It's like this is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, you can run the numbers. You can see like how does this make sense? What's this
Yep.
lease look like? Who's the strength of this tenant? They credit, and
Right.
piecing it all together and then taking action on it is really like it's just fun. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. So the broker proposed a few different options to
Okay.
to advance things, and he said, "Where is it? Hang on.
I could
Um,
probably pull your email up that you sent me, but that's probably not the one.
he has sent me a couple since. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Okay. Option one: submit an LOI now and try to get in the mix while the seller is still considering offers. Option two: we review the lease and rent roll materials first, then move quickly if everything checks out. Option three: we pair an LOI with a site visit next week, assuming you want to physically walk the property, which I'd want to do. But so yeah, I just need to figure out in terms of underwriting it based on part of it being empty, but with a potential tenant. So, I wouldn't want to, and also the other aspect is just, the down payment and all that stuff. So,
I think a key here, honestly, too, is if you've already know who owns the or who has the debt on the building and they're talking about wanting to stay in the mix, man, go introduce yourself and then be the first one to jockey for that position. And then that
Yeah.
banker can probably even lobby to that broker and say, hey, listen, this guy's serious. This guy's doing this, he's doing that, whatever. I mean, we can figure that whole
Yep.
thing out. But right now, all these other guys are probably just submitting offers and seeing what
Just
sticks.
drop. Yeah.
If you're making the foundational relationship right now with the guy that already has the debt, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, to me, that's the key is like setting up the position of like getting all your pieces on the chessboard dialed in before actually starting to go towards the queen,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep. Yep. No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. In this case, the seller is actually in Arizona. I wonder if the bank is in Arizona too. I don't know if that would Western State Bank maybe, but I'll look into it. Yeah. All right.
Well, that's cool though. I mean, again, that's the name of the game anyway, is the creativity side behind it is saying, okay, what are we gonna,
Mhm.
you know, how motivated is this seller? I mean, if the guy's in
Yep.
Arizona, maybe he's motivated. I mean, do we know anything about him by chance?
So he sold the trampoline company, 6 locations, owns all the real estate, is selling the real estate, and wants to
Man,
go to Aruba. So
good
he's
for
retiring.
him. Good for
Yeah,
him.
good for him is right.
Good for him.
So yeah, he probably
Well,
did pretty well. We'll see.
one thing that you can consider then is, to him it would probably, and that's another piece on this calculator that you can share is on this seller financing portion right here. You can share these two scenarios. You can say, listen, you're gonna do, and again, I don't know these exact numbers, right? Like maybe he bought it for 1 million, right? I have no
Hmm.
idea. I'm just coming up with this.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, the point of this is though is that you can figure all this information out, and none of these other guys that are making offers are positioning the information to the seller the way that you can,
yeah.
because he knows he wants to go to Aruba. That's his why. But he's probably not forgetting, but he knows in the back of his mind his silent partner of Uncle Sam is lurking around the corner. And
Yep.
so that's why I believe the creativity offer, like maybe the other guy is offering that, it'll make sense for him because it will do two positive things. It will defer capital gains into the future at some point because he's not receiving that money at closing. He's leaving money in the deal, right?
Yep.
$3.5 million. He's going to leave 750 or $1 million in the deal, whatever the number ends up being. And it
Mhm.
sounds on paper like, well, why would somebody do that? Well, that million is now not a capital gain. So he doesn't pay
Right.
capital gains tax on it. It stays on the form of debt, and he still has collateral. He still like owns, he doesn't own it, but he has collateral attached to his to the money. So every
Okay.
month you can pay him a mortgage payment that
Yep.
will come from, the income from the property, the rent,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
it blesses him because honestly, man, that's new money. A lot of these, I had this same exact experience on a building in Birmingham where this guy, it wasn't near as big of numbers as what this guy was. And I bought this building for 1,000,001 maybe. And this guy, his wife said, "Hey, we want to go down to the beach and drink Mai Tais the same way that this guy wants to
Yeah.
do this."
Yeah.
Yes, Pryor. All right, hang on, please. He's in the other room.
Yeah.
But his wife was like, "Hey, listen, my grandkids are down at the beach, and you need to sell this business and building by the end of the year. Otherwise, I'm just going." She wasn't divorcing him, but she's like, "I'm just going to the beach, and I'll just catch up with
Yeah.
you. Like, see you then, right?" And so he
Yeah.
became extremely motivated at that point. And what he doesn't think about, and maybe even the seller too, and this is for everybody on the call that's like thinking about this, is sellers don't consider that, especially if they sell a business like this guy that sold his trampoline park, that was income. He's basically bringing in probably at least 50 grand a month, paying rent
Yeah.
of 25, like bringing good income. They're not considering when they sell it, they now have this awesome war chest and a Charles Schwab account, but
Yep.
they're not having any new money come in. Like they're losing their stream
Right.
of income. And
Yep.
so the way you can position the creativity and why it benefits them is they'll save money on capital gains tax, which ends up saving them six figures in income tax. But
Hmm.
also every month you pay them, it's new money coming in every month.
Yeah.
So you can be the guy that, instead of just making some LOI offer and never talking to him, you sit down and
Yeah.
walk. He's obviously sophisticated. He's built a business and sold it. But when it's positioned from, a tax perspective and you can be a consultant and a partner with them versus like just a regular buyer, I
Yeah.
swear, especially when you partner with the bank and the bank sees how and why you're making the offer the way that you are and how it benefits, benefits them, the bank, and it benefits the seller and it keeps their, first position jockey collateral. Dude, it's a
Hmm.
slam dunk, like straight up.
Wow.
Like
How
when
do
it's
you set the
positioned like
rate
that.
on the financing side of the seller financing? Like how you just come to terms with a with an agreed upon competitive interest rate, meaning when you're setting that up, is that in here?
Yeah, so if you go right here to second position mortgage, and I
Okay.
always negotiate interest only. Like there's never sense to repay down. There's no sense to pay down principal on that.
Yep.
Uh, like ever. There might be one circumstance. My accountant's always like, never repay principal. It
Just
doesn't
balloon it and
just
yeah.
balloon it in the future. Yeah, just balloon it.
Okay. Okay.
And I always come up with like, I started at like 5 and I'll go up to 6. I mean,
Yep. Yep.
it's
Yep.
not
Yep. Yep.
really,
Okay.
you're trying to keep up with inflation, whatever. But the
Yep.
point of the sales pitch to the seller is new money because
Hmm.
he probably has not, he's excited about having 3 million bucks in a checking account, or this guy maybe more, but he's now like, damn, now I got to go figure out how to go and like create new money. And this is, you've got a solution for him. Like you've got a new money solution where
Yeah.
I've got this war chest. Man, if I could just find 5 or 6 grand a month just to, pay for my tie habit, then I'm in good shape. That kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Okay.
And so most
Awesome.
people just don't think about that. So if you can initially present that problem that they're
Yep.
probably considering or they're thinking that they're going to have, and you've already provided a solution to it with this new money monthly, they're immediately going to pick you, and then the banker on top of it that's already knows the way that you're thinking about it. It all can tie up with like a little bow. It looks really
Yeah,
good.
I like the way you put it. Yep. No, that makes a lot of sense.
All plays in like, and then
Yeah.
here's the best part is you do that one deal with your lender and he stays on this mortgage. He's gonna be like, oh man, I gotta call this you guy back. Like he's gonna
Yeah.
like this dude knows what he's doing, man. I can't wait to call him up for the next deal. Or hey, Hugh, next time you got a deal, dude, call me. Let me be
Right.
your guy. Because
Yep. Yep.
here's the best part too, and I'll get off my soapbox, but it's like everybody that's in sales, bankers too, they want to lend money to people they know, like, and trust. And if they
Hmm.
know that you know what you're doing and they earn their commission, they have to hit their quota for the year of lending money, and they can trust you, man, like you're going to be calling you off the hook, buying you beers, buying you lunches and dinners and everything. And it's like,
I love it.
that's the position you want to be in, you know?
That's where you want to be. Yeah. No, that's great. Thanks,
Straight
Nolan.
up and down.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. No, that's awesome, man. That is awesome.
Yeah.
If you'd like, if you wouldn't even look at a some type of LOI or something, I think you got opportunity here, man. Like if this thing really is at 25,000, you got a chance to get to 36 in the next 8 months. Man, that's
Yeah.
strong. That's a strong deal right there.
Yeah. No, it definitely, especially the terms of the leases that they're talking about. I'll find out if there's a any kind of accelerator on the first lease that's already in place, any increases. But it does. I just
Well, because
yeah.
here's the thing, if you really wanted to get froggy, you lease that site up and it's throwing off 36,000 a month. You go and sell that thing in a 9 cap at $5.5 million. You walk with like 175 after taxes and commissions.
Yeah.
Like that's not.
That's
I'm not gonna say that's life changing money. You're not gonna go buy a penthouse in New York City, but that's a
it's
good day right
pretty
there.
good.
That's a
Yeah.
good day. And that's
Yep.
really
We
just
won't.
by buying it right. You're buying it at
Right.
what it is right now. And these school leases up, there's somebody out there that will take that deal down at an 8 or even a 9 is a good deal to some people,
Right.
especially if they have 1031 money and they've got
Yeah.
to place it before they have to pay the tax. So that
Yeah.
might even be a move where you say, hey, listen, I'm going to flip this one. I'll make 1,300,000, a blessed day right there. And then we'll just go find something else to go purchase it. But then now you've got some liquidity that you can idle with, and then you can have a little bit more time to go really pick and choose your next site. Or really your banker, you can call your banker up and say, hey, let me know when you have another guy that's wanting to sell and you want to hold on to the debt. I'll let me be your call. You
Yeah, no, that's great. And how do you like when you look at that and see the future value of the building, do you compare that to like expected square? I know it's all based on the income produced by the building, but the rent per square foot or the price per square foot to kind
Yeah,
of reconcile that at all or
it's all built into that revenue growth. It's all built into
okay,
that
okay,
rent bump. So
okay.
if you don't have rental increases, it doesn't really the value doesn't really go
Uh
up. And
yeah,
this
it's all based on the
sells.
increases. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can tie it up and it'd be about the same price. I mean, if you don't have it rental increases. So that's why the rent bumps are so valuable because those cap rates go up and down, right? Depending upon interest rates. Like
Right.
if interest rates are low, cap
Yep.
rates are low, right? But
Yeah.
if you don't have those rent bumps, and it's really, in my book, it's not really, this is my personal opinion, but the rental increases are not going to make you rich. It's just somebody will buy that off a multiple in year five, right? You got something
Yeah.
that's basically without doing anything different in your life, the rent went up 25 grand, which just increased the value without trading the cap rate at all,
Yeah.
$250,000, and you didn't do anything. Not to
Right.
mention
Right.
you just
Right.
pay
Right.
down, 5 years of debt, you know?
Yeah. Makes
So
sense.
yeah,
Makes
so you
sense.
basically can build up about another $300,000 of just equity just by the rents bumping 2% and you paying down
Mhm.
some interest rate or some interest. What's that?
Okay.
Okay, I'll turn it on. Just 1 second.
There you
One
go.
second. Hang on. Will you have is McKinley here? Is Miss Jackie here? Will you have Miss Jackie do it, please? Go ask Miss Jackie to do it. Y'all give me 2 seconds. 1 second, all
Yeah,
right?
go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Thanks. All right, come on. Miss Jackie can do it too. You don't like this show? This one right here? All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Like I said, I pick up my son from school at 2:30, and then I come up here and do the call from three to it. Like I
Yeah.
said, that's why I shifted it from 4 to 3 o'clock because candidly, I'm like trying to wait till 4 to do the call. It's just tough to do, especially with
And you
two other
bleed
kids
into
at
dinner.
home.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
but
Well, this is
no, no.
great. Thanks, Nolan.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's just I think you're onto something. I think you're really onto something. And when that time comes, if you do have an LOI that you're looking to submit, more than happy to take a peek at it. More than happy to partner with you on it. You let me know what
Okay.
you'd like to do. And
Yep.
or if you say, hey Nolan, really, I'd like you just to consult and you stay on it. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like I said, the whole point of this is to figure out how to get you from like how to close a mother effing deal. Like that's the whole point.
Yep.
Get from
No,
start
I
to
hear you.
finish. You know?
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Cool.
Awesome. I'm going to talk to Adam about it tomorrow morning too. So we'll
Okay.
try to fine tune the approach and figure it out. But this
Okay.
is great. Appreciate the
Awesome. Okay.
guidance.
Yeah, man, of course. Okay. All right. What else is anybody working on? I see that we got Alan here, Edgar, David. Anybody else working on anything good right now as the ball is rolling? I know the Masters is on. Maybe some of you golfers are out there, maybe making that a priority, and I don't blame you. Anybody else have anything they're working on right now? Well, I could be brief. One thing that I'm doing right now too is I mentioned I've got 14 of these warehouses now, and I had a friend and a mentor. He's got more money than God, and he's told me is like, hey, anytime you can get the valuation of your property above 7.5 million, you you essentially change from tire kickers to guys that are action takers when they inquire about your property. If you have somebody that's offering a portfolio or something at 10 million bucks, you're not going to get even at $1 million site, people are going to still kick tires. He's like, but if you get a $10 million valuation of whatever you're selling, you'll get people that are precise, they're sophisticated, and when they see what they like, they'll take action on it. So what I'm doing right now is I've got two brokers working on this. I'm packaging up all my buildings, and I kind of talked about it in some other calls, but packaging up all 14 of these sites, these warehouses, and we're gonna do a 1031 exchange, like everyone that they talk about, or do we. So what we've done is we've got, and the way that we're doing it, and I think this is really smart from my broker's perspective. He says, listen, what we'll do is for every single building, when I bought the building, some of them I had phase ones and surveys done, the environmental study and surveys. I'm going to go purchase all of, like, updated environmentals in phase one. So they're going to be all, so when someone goes on the website, you can click on, hey, Birmingham industrial real estate portfolio. You click on it, you sign an NDA, and then from there, you can go and look at every building. It's going to have all the professional photos. You can click on it, and it's going to have a little spread down where it's like, here's the lease, here's the environmental study, here's the survey, all the meat and potatoes that someone needs to know. Hey, what's the income on this site? And we provide all of that right out of the gate, so it creates transparency and really, I think, efficiency when someone's trying to purchase. So the whole point of this really is and this is how a 1031 I believe is going to work is we'll have all of this this under contract. Somebody from somewhere will have these buildings under contract to purchase, and then at the same time, what we're doing is my brokers are also identifying a list of 30 or 40 larger sites to look at and purchase. And then once we go under contract, then we'll begin our conversations with these other brokers that are listing these larger sites. And then we've got our 1031 broker who's actually an attorney in Birmingham that will use as a mediary for the transaction. So really what it'll do is it'll save me about $1 million in capital gains tax. And then we'll use that to go and just defer and purchase, that next larger site. And then that will essentially allow us to go take more bonus depreciation and write off, some other income from elsewhere. So that's kind of one thing I'm working on right now. I'm excited about it. It's a little overwhelming because I've been working hard on these buildings. I've been doing it for just over 5 years for the industrial real estate. So these have kind of been my babies. It sounds silly. I'm not being emotional, but I'm like, damn, this has been a lot of hard work and effort to buy these and get them leased and to work them, and we're just going to go trade them up into something else. But I think that's what we're all here chasing. I think it's what we're all trying to figure out how to do is buy larger sites. It's monopoly. It's like 4 red houses, 1 red hotel, like, and you just keep on turning and burning like that. So that's one thing that I'm working on. I mean, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be great. Just curious if you guys have anything that you guys are working on that could help you with, or what's on your mind. Anybody have anything?
Yeah, I have one. Um, so I started watching those videos, the week one and week two. The only
Yeah,
problem with me is just I don't know where to start from there. Like I know you said to find the brokers and make relationship, but I had this in mind. I don't know if this could work. So in my mind, I was thinking, what if I talked to a loan person, because you know how they're connected with all those commercial peoples and real estate and all that.
totally. Yeah. No,
You
what I
think that?
recommend doing, but go ahead,
Uh,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you think that would work
I mean,
for me?
absolutely. Absolutely it will. What I always recommend when someone's just starting out, like in your shoes, where you're trying to develop and figure out where to go, man, I
Hmm.
really recommend you go to your next real estate meetup. There's one in your town. Introduce yourself as a commercial real estate investor. Everyone that's going to be there is probably going to be residential, and you're going to stick out, and it's going to be cool because, like, everybody wants to be in commercial. Like, no matter what everybody says, everybody wants to be in commercial real estate because it's just bigger, it's cooler, it's more passive. The commissions are larger, the money's more passive, the businesses are the tenants. Like, it's just different. And introduce yourself as a commercial real estate investor. And then when you're walking with these residential brokers, I always like to introduce myself and say, hey, who's the best guy in your office for commercial real estate? They're going to say, oh my God, you got to get introduced to John. John's great. You say, oh man, all right, well, how about this? How about you shoot an introduction text? Don't say connect. Like, I would recommend this too. Never like remove the word connect from your vocabulary because connecting to somebody just sounds like you're not an action taker. But if you'd like to be introduced to somebody, that sounds it's more professional and it's also as if you're wanting to take action. So use the word I like to, hey, would you introduce me to your broker? Like think about this, El. Like how much better does it sound to say, hey, would you please introduce me to your commercial broker in your office, or say, hey, can you connect me to your guy in your brokerage? You see the difference in that? You see like the professionalism and like introduction is just more of a mature word than connect. Is that you see what I'm saying on that? Just to be on the same
Yeah.
page. Okay.
Okay.
So remove connect from your vocabulary and only say the word
Okay.
introduce. So anytime
Introduce.
you want to
Okay.
say connect, say introduce. All right. That's all. Then I'm off my high horse. I'll take up a tithe for my sermon there. Sorry.
Okay.
I just cannot stand that word because like every time I hear the word connect, I'm just like this guy is wasting my time. But
Mhm.
but what I'm saying is like get introduced to this guy, have him send a group chat or group text to everybody, and then you respond and say, hey, listen, hey John, great to be introduced. Period. I'm around tomorrow morning. I would love to buy you a cup of coffee and learn more about what you're doing and see how we can take down and execute some deals. Like use the word execute. How we can execute and close deals. Bam. Oh, I'm around. I'm actually available because I've been doing it for 30 years and I have plenty of time. Okay, awesome. You go buy that guy a cup of coffee, he'll end up buying you that coffee or lunch or whatever it is. And if you spend 30 minutes with him, spend 26 minutes only talking about him. And I promise you this will work. Don't talk about real estate. Don't talk about yourself. Only ask him questions. If you've read the book Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, he talks about mirroring, how you mirror somebody, meaning you ask him questions about how he got into the business. If he's from town, if he's not from town, why is he in town? If he is from town, why hasn't he left town, right? Like asking questions. Hey, what's your son do? Oh, he plays high school football. He plays high school football. That's what mirroring is. So you say he basically responds to something. Oh, your daughter is a cheerleader. Oh, awesome. So your daughter's a cheerleader. You just respond with what he ever just told you. And he's going to just continue to give more detail. Yeah, she's been doing cheerleading for the last 7 or 8 years. Her mother loves it. Oh my God, so you're married. Okay. And you just keep asking more information like this and it never feels weird. But what you're doing is you're creating a relationship. You're not just talking about real estate. And that's the key. Everybody only wants to focus on the transaction. They don't focus on, can I go have a beer with this guy? Can I actually talk to this dude and like hang out with him outside of business hours? Like that's what you want to create is your reputation. Like I will hang out with this dude.
Mhm.
So from there, you spend 25 minutes with him. He's eventually going to reciprocate. And that's when he's going to say, well, what about you? What's your story? Say, oh man, look, happy to talk more about that. I'm married, got a couple of kids, this, that, and the other, whatever. Hey, really, here's what I'm looking at. He's gonna say, well, yeah. So then you go back and say, so what? So tell me more about your real estate. You go back and forth. What are you looking for? And that's when you mention 10 to 40,000 feet, 16-foot clear heights, multiple roll-up doors, less than a mile off the highway. Triple net lease, the same thing that we always talk about. And he's gonna respond 9 times out of 10. Well, let me think. Because again, you just spent 20 minutes getting to know him as a person, right? So he's already you're creating oxytocin, which is the bonding chemical in their brains. It's creating a connection. That's the goal. That's the whole goal of mirroring is to create oxytocin. After you do that, he's going to respond and say, "Well, I don't have anything like that right now." And then your response, very simply, is say, "Well, John, what do you got? What do you got?" And he's going to say, well, I do have this one site over on 123 Main Street that's this, that, and the other, and it's this square footage and this whatever. Say, well, all right. Well, let's go take a peek at it. I'm around tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. or whatever. I mean, whatever it is. He's going to say, okay. And what do you know, literally, from you going to a networking event on a Monday night to you walking a commercial site with a 30-year vet in literally, what is that? 72 hours, just like that, you know? And so
Hmm.
it's not that difficult. What it does take from you, it takes audacity, it takes a little bit of courage, and going and doing something that's a little outside your comfort zone. That's what it takes, straight up and down.
Okay.
So,
So my other question is, um, what if we're not looking the the same property that you're looking for? What happen if we're gonna invest to like let's say they're construction like they're building a new site, but it's a gas station next to the close to the highway, and there's like a lot of companies around it, like 18 wheelers, and you think that's a good investment, or any property is a good investment?
well, I think if you want to go and want to make sure you guys can you see my screen okay?
Hmm.
Okay. So what I recommend you do is on that investment that you're talking about, when you go walk that site, go down to this due diligence checklist right here and try and fill this thing out like as much as you can. Because that's what's going to help you determine if the deal is going to make sense or not for you and also for me if I'm going to partner with you on it. So I'm not opposed to anything that's outside of what we usually do because I mean I love a deal, right? Like just like
Hmm.
you. But but if you can fill out 90% of this, it's going to help you um, underwrite the deal better to determine if it's actually a good deal or not. But second of all, it's going to help me decide if I want to partner with you on it, and it's going to, if it's actually a deal that we can actually do. So just a thought.
Okay.
You got this, you have this pro forma, right, Ale?
Yes. Yes, I
Okay.
did. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I'd say in another like little quick key is I recommend too when you go walk a site with a broker or whoever, print this thing out, print this due diligence checklist out, fill out, a couple of portions of it, the address, what they're asking, like fill out this kind of stuff. And then when you're walking it, ask these questions as you are walking it. I think it'll improve your um, not fake sophistication, but it will create like an aura of like, hey, this guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So just
Okay.
a thought there. Cool. Well, anybody else? I know we're a little short, but I want to make sure I'm answering everything for everybody. And I was mentioning before you guys got on, I'm going to be I'm actually going to my wife and I were traveling to Australia and New Zealand over the next 2 weeks. We're going to be away. So our live calls won't stop. We'll just be on Zane will be the one that will be conducting these calls. So we'll still be doing live calls. I just won't be able to make it. I'll be literally on the entire other side of the world. So just to be clear on that. But then once I get back, we'll be back at it again. So well, anything else? Anybody else have anything else before we roll out here?
I do.
Yeah. Awesome.
Um, I was just interested about the life insurance, the whole life insurance.
Yeah.
Want to see if I can get on a one-on-one call with you to discuss a little bit more on that.
Yeah, sure. What I'll do, Edgar, is once we get off of here, I have your cell phone already saved. I'll shoot a group chat between you and my communication director, McKinley, and I. And McKinley will just give you a call and kind of walk you through like, where you're at, what you're up to. And then after that, we'll do the underwriting process. It's super simple. And then we'll get you a health rating. And then if it makes sense, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we'll just get you a bunch of information from there if that works.
Okay, sounds great.
Is that good for you?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay. I'll have McKinley shoot you a text and then give you a call this afternoon if you're going to be around. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. It would be done through the phone, right? Because
Yeah, just a phone call, like a cell phone call.
okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Does that sound good?
That'll work. Yes.
Cool. All right, y'all. Well, what I'll do is I'll be great call again. What I'll do is I will go and upload this to school. Y'all can get your eyes on this thing. And then if you have any other thoughts or questions, you got my cell phone, so holler at me, okay?
All right.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks.